What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, bell, dings, all that stuff. I'd appreciate it. Today we're going to talk about why it's been so long since I've had my last video. Alright, after a few heat cycles, I ended up noticing a oil leak. And I needed to determine where it was from, and I wasn't sure if it was coming from, maybe I didn't properly seal the oil pan right, or something is going on. As you can see here in this clip, I'm going to show you here, it's some oil collected on the top of the oil pan, but it's not coming from the seal. It looks like it's coming from the weld spots, and that's a little disheartening. I don't know. I'm a little frustrated about that. But okay, here I'm back, and I'm going to do another heat cycle. I went ahead and heated up, or wiped up all the spots. All right, this spot is clean. All right, that spot's clean on the driver's side. And let's come over here on the passenger side. All right, and this is the passenger side. Okay, so I got those all cleaned up, wiped up. I'm gonna run another heat test, heat cycle, see if it is indeed starting to collect there. The last time when I did the heat cycle, the car was up at an angle, so it was dripping off, so I wasn't 100% sure, but I have seen oil come from those weld spots. All right, so I did heat cycle this, and as you'll notice, let me get it down here. So as you notice down there, it is with a slight puddle. Goes right, where's it at? Right in that corner there. So I guess I gotta contact Sikky, let him know. As you can see in that clip, it was actually leaking from the very corner of the weld on the oil pan itself. And the actual fix was really fast, and I've been kind of slow in addressing this. I don't want to use the whole transparent. I mean, honesty is honesty. You don't have to be transparent. And what ended up happening is, yeah, the Sikky oil pan had a leak, and every now and then that's what happens. And I was trying to determine. At the time, I was quite upset because once you get the oil pan on, you get it dropped into the car, you can't slide it out without dropping the subframe. And after doing all that work, being basically on my back in my garage, I was a bit frustrated and irritated. And well, I wasn't 100% sure that it was coming from where it was, but it looked like it. And I talked to Sikky, and first off, Sikky was extremely helpful, extremely understanding. They were willing to work with me. They were great. Their customer service was top notch. I have nothing bad to say about that. Just the bad luck of, a product that happened to have an issue, and that happens sometimes. And I'm okay with that. My first inclination was, hey, you should send me an oil pan, and then I'll put it on, then I'll send you back one. But this is America, and probably someone would just keep the other oil pan, and then they'd be out that. So I understood that. I also wanted to double check, and my buddy has a shop, and I took it up to him. I wanted to make sure that it was actually what it was, and I just wanted to verify. And I also needed to get the custom exhaust put on, so I figure I'll go up there. I could at least drive it up there. It was a slow leak, and get that fixed. He got the exhaust put on. I'll end up think in this video or next video or something, I'll show, you know, what the exhaust was. And at that time, while he was making the exhaust, he dropped the subframe. He was able to put, you know, a board, I guess a board or something, hold the engine in place, probably under the crank or something like that. Drop the subframe, drop the oil pan, get it sent out. He could have fixed it himself, but I guess basically if there was an issue later on, as far as like warranty and stuff like that, he didn't want to be, or I didn't want him to be liable for something saying, hey, you got to fix it because it was broke. I'd rather have, you know, Sikky itself. I ended up calling up Sikky, like I said, and they were extremely helpful. They just, you know, wanted it sent back to them, and you know, I got it sent to or he took it off, sent to them. They got it back. I think they did it that day or the day they got it, and then sent it back the very next day. It was like almost zero downtime as far as, I guess as far as shipping is what took the longest time, you know, going to and from. And while you know, they were working on that, he was working on the custom exhaust that was tucked up really high. I decided to go with, I guess if I can find a picture, I'll show you here. And what you see here is I guess I went with mandrel steel. I didn't want to go, I figure stainless, maybe a bit louder. Mandrel would, you know, drop the tone down a little bit. Went with 3-inch all the way back with a single muffler. Could have gone with a resonator, but my buddy was worried about the resonator being a little bit too big, getting a little bit too low. I mean, we had it to where it was, you know, under, or the frame rails were actually lower than the exhaust, so that was really nice. Plus it kept, you know, kind of kept some of the price down. I guess the only issue that I feel with that, I mean, the exhaust sounded excellent. I loved how the exhaust sounded. It, you know, it was quiet, so it was drivable, you know, daily drivable. I could hear the radio is going, and I didn't have an issue with that. The only time, and when you got on it, it opened up and sounded really nice. The only downside that I'd say is that it sounded a little bit too much like a truck, being more of the mandrel steel instead of something of, you know, higher quality. Yeah, it's probably what they use in a lot of trucks, and so it had a little bit of that truck sound. And I don't know, it could have had a little different note. Maybe it would have been really nice to have a 3-inch true dual all the way back, but instead I had it to, you know, the headers, the Sikky headers down to a Y pipe into the one, because I wanted to have that stock kind of look instead of creating a new, you know, dual tip look and stuff like that. But as far as the oil pan goes, that was the problem I had, and you know, it was unavoidable. Sikky really helped me out. They did a good job, turnaround, customer support, all that stuff was very nice. None of this obviously is, you know, paid or said or anything like that. I just wanted to keep my initial emotion out of it, because, you know, when something first happens, you get emotional, and then maybe you say something that is not quite accurate, and I just wanted to make sure I kept that out of it. And you know, it's great. Everything runs, and you know, I love the car. It's a blast to drive. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I got more coming. Peace.